Welcome to the B2T show, where we empower Christian patriots with truth. This is Rick, your host. Let me show you what happened in Portland with all this violence. They're just going crazy there, threatening federal buildings, and so even though the mayor and the governor are complete cabal and don't want to solve the problem, they want to have the chaos continue, which they have for months now. You can see here, I'm just going to play this. I'm not going to play the sound, but you can just see all the mess that's going on there. So there are federal troops that have come in, but they're throwing fireworks and all types of things. They're coming in with their own shields. They are purposely doing graffiti wherever they can, and it's really becoming crazy there in Portland. And that's what happens when you have a criminal mayor and a criminal governor not doing their jobs on purpose to try to keep the pedophiles, the satanic pedophiles, in power, who they are their masters. That's the scary part about this. The same ones that control the media, the same ones that control Hollywood, the same ones that control all of the Antifa / organizations that are supposedly these philanthropic organizations, and they're actually like here's the shootings that was going on in Chicago. This is another example of just the violence going on everywhere. There's 14 shot in that one area. So again, a huge declass. She's got pins showing up as well. So she just says, "Scoop: declassified records from DNI Ratcliffe reveal FBI counterintelligence plus security briefing to then candidate Trump," which they're supposed to be doing to help and brief the candidate Trump, "at General Flynn and at Governor Christie on August 17th, 2016. So this was pre, because I think it was August 28th that the Crossfire Hurricane supposedly, 17 days after FBI Russia probe Crossfire Hurricane. So they're saying it's after. So in August of 2016, that according to the docs, this was run through Agent Stroke. This is Peter Strzok, obviously, who hated the president, plus Penka, who later questioned Flynn in January 2017, plus FBI lawyer Kevin Kleinsmith, who, based on the IG Fights report, allegedly altered the CIA email to continue surveillance of the Carter page. Defense briefings are designed to warn campaigns they may be targets of foreign intelligence services. And we're going to look at some of this in more detail and look at the pins and stuff like that as well. And she did this. Penka briefed for about 13 minutes. Then he writes, "During the ODNI briefs, Ryder actively listened for topics or questions regarding the Russia Federation." So this is red-handed, showing they were trying to entrap Trump versus brief him. Completely obvious. This is an important declass. All right, here's a Lou saying, "Cute again, Catherine, way to go." Here's a praying medic, and here's some great thing. This is a really funny video. It's got some language in there, so I can't play it. But if you just scroll down after somebody gets cued, it's always fun to see everybody here. Here's what I said. I said dark to light, hashtag dark to light. Instead of briefing Trump, what they were supposed to do, the crooked Comey FBI instead tried to gather intel to frame him. Hashtag Obamagate. Okay, now we can read that. Look how beautiful that comes in. So again, you have the two deals here. You see, and so now you see suspected Russian something here. Statistically speaking, the FBI has approximately something cases on known or suspected Russian IOs posted to the U.S. We have approximately cases known to be suspected Chinese IOs almost. So they're trying to trap Trump into the whole Russia thing, even though we know it was all false. Trump asked the following questions. "Joe, are the Russians bad because they have more numbers? Are they worse than the Chinese?" Ryder responded to say both countries are bad. So that was Trump just asking an intelligent question, is what that one was about. Interesting how they take something that's supposed to be used to benefit the campaign, to be the betterment of the country, and instead they use it for crooked purposes. It's exactly what happens when you have a weaponized Obama administration like we had. And so this is Trump politics biblical knowledge, teaching, and wellness. Examine me, God, from head to foot. Order your battery of tests. Make sure I am fit inside and out so I never lose sight of your love, but keep in step with you, never missing a beat. Psalm 26, 2 through 3, the Message. That's from the Message. Awesome. Psalm 26, 2 through 3. So she just wrote this today and texted me about it. Be not afraid. And that is a famous quote, obviously. And here we go. And I think that's from JFK. You have to remind me of who that's from. I'm sure you guys will on the chat there of who said, be not afraid. Maybe that was Reagan. You let me know who that was. But here's a Breitbart article on July 21st, 2020. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger for you guys, for those watching it on YouTube. See if I can do that. No, this does not allow that to go any bigger. Darn it. So I will do it the biggest I can get it in that. It says, on July 22nd, 2020, be not afraid, that signature of Saint Pope John Paul II. Oh, I do remember that now, Lou. I do remember that. That was just recent. We got all that. So, and I think Q posted on that. Thank you, Lou. So on July 22nd, 2020, a new Breitbart article shined light on a Cato Institute poll that states 62% of Americans are afraid to share their political views. Republicans had a higher percentage at 77%, while Democrats reported 52% are fearful to share their views. And see the article here. Now that's just pretty crazy if you think about that. That means 77% of Republicans are afraid to share their views. Silence is violence. A new poll. There it is right there. That is pretty crazy if you think about 77%. And that's the silent majority we're going to be talking about here in this. That's why they purposely created the violence, in my opinion. We'll see how that actually works out. But back to here, in my opinion, this is exactly the plan of the Obama administration, as well as Hillary Clinton when she called Trump supporters deplorable. For the 8 years during the Obama administration, Republicans, especially when demonized by the fake mainstream media, as they perpetuated Obama's wishes. The same fake media pumped up the Democrats for those 8 years. In 2015, when the candidate Trump came on the scene, Republicans were energized, but it didn't last long. The fake mainstream media immediately jumped into Clinton's defense and vilified all people who supported the eventual Republican nominee. This led to an unbelievable amount of violence toward supporters who wore the MAGA hat for now President Trump. See this article from Law Enforcement Today detailing multiple attacks on different victims. Did the mainstream media denounce these attacks? Did Democrats? Absolutely not. They were happy to create the division and allow it to continue. So this man understands the mask lie at a level most people can't comprehend. Retweet this everywhere. And this is, I can't read, I think he's from Ireland. I think this guy was from. But listen to, it's a little hard to understand, but listen to some of his logic. It makes a lot of sense. Here he goes.
The figures were dying away to nothing. There was no talk of compulsory masks. In June, when there were no cases virtually at all, there was no talk of compulsory masks.
Compulsory masks. You had, required masks is what he's talking about.
Now, when it's all but disappeared. It's gone. It's gone. They are now bringing in compulsory masks. And the reason for that is they need visible evidence of terror.
Yes.
So here he goes. They need visible evidence of terror.
To create a visibility of the terror that they want to inculcate into people. And that's why this is so important to them. These are really sinister people we're dealing with now. These are people that we previously thought of as people of our own kind, these politicians. But we have to start thinking of them now as alien beings, as hostile beings to the Irish people. They are the enemies of the Irish people. Clearly, they are intent, because the mask is...
They're hostile beings to the Irish people. So this is obviously interesting stuff that this guy gets it.
Way of denying the very human face of the person. It's a way of taking away the individual, unique humanity of each person and turning us all into zombies and restoring us to a kind of animal state, so that we no longer will look at each other coming down the street as Tom or Mick or Mary, my friend, my sister, my brother, but instead as a festering mess of bacteria and viruses, which is a danger to my health. Oh! I have to get out of the way. This is what they are turning the human person into. With this whole, I'm not saying that our people are responsible for thinking this up. They don't have the brains for that or anything. But this is what they're implementing. This is the thinking behind it, to destroy the spirit of the human person, the individuality, the personality, the conscience, the character of the human person. That is what this project is about.
There you go. What a beautiful definition. And wow, a guy that gets it for sure, right? You just listened to the Blessed to Teach show. You're now empowered with the truth.